Yo, this shit OP. Hello guys, this is me Lish. Welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, please like, share and subscribe. If you're old, then welcome back to another video. आज की जो हमारी look है, it's a fall Halloween inspired look. The palette that I'm gonna be using today, I was so freaking excited to use it. I've had it sitting there for the past months and I haven't tried it. So today I ended up using all the oranges and the whites in this James Charles palette. I have just been so excited to use this palette and I finally got to play with it today. I am gonna tell you how the shades blend as the video goes through. The palette in itself looks very sleek. As you can see, I love the black packaging. I would have appreciated if the colors were written somewhere on here because they gave me this sheet and it's quite hard to read colors off of that. So guys, if you want to check this palette out, you can check it on Sephora or anywhere online. That's where I got mine from. So let's jump in with the fall cut crease makeup look. I'm going to start with the Fit Me concealer. I'm going to be putting it in the inner corners and the outer corners. I'm going to take a brush then and blend that in. I like to only focus it in some areas and blend it, as you can see, and then later go in if I need any coverage. My inner corners and outer corners are usually the parts that are dark. As you can see, I need more coverage. I went back in. This is the best way to blend your concealer, guys. This foundation is one of my favorites. It's the Makeup Revolution foundation stick. This is in the shade F10 and I like putting it in all of the places that I usually highlight. I love doing this with my foundation because it gives me a contour and highlight effect. Now I'm going to be taking the same foundation but in the darker shade and put it where I put my contour, outer perimeters of my face, my cheekbones, and I'm going to be putting it with a brush so I know where I'm placing, and then blend it all with a beauty blender. Guys, this way you get the most coverage when you apply your product with a brush and then blend it in. It smooths it out. This is a wet sponge, a wet beauty blender. I love using this for cream products, especially this foundation, because it does tend to get a little shiny and oily throughout. So I make sure that the beauty blender is wet and it absorbs all of the excess product. A little bit down the neck goes a really long way. Now with the James Charles palette, I'm going to be going in with the first shade, which is Flashback, putting it on my brow bone and my crease so I don't have any creasing in my eyes. I do sometimes tend to have oily eyelids. I'm going to be taking this light yellow shade, which is called Tune. I'm going to be putting it in my crease, like as a transition shade for everything to blend out. This color kind of blended into my skin tone, so that's why I used it for my transition. Now with a small shader brush, I'm gonna focus it in my crease, this same shade, and I'm gonna go in and blend it later for it to give me the most payoff. Now onto the next eye, placing the product, blending it in. That's where I find you get the most pigment out of this palette. Now I'm going to be taking this orange shade. It is called 518. This is a very bright orange, but for some reason, as I was putting it in my crease and outer corner, it was just blending into a yellow shade, guys. And I tried going in with a fluffy brush and blending the yellow with the orange. I'm going to be using this Code James shade, which is a warm orange tone. I'm going to be putting it in my crease and blending it in with the previous orange shade. I preferred this shade over the other orange shade because it was warmer and it worked with my skin tone. Now with the warm brown shade, which is called 10% Off, I'm going to be putting it in my outer corners and slightly in my crease, but below that, blending it in with the fluffy brush. Now I'm going to be taking this thin synthetic brush and I'm going to be cutting my crease. Guys, I like to cut my crease slightly above my normal crease line. That is the way to go about when you cut your crease. There are many different ways that people tell you to blink your eyes and put concealer on, but no, I find it the best that if you precisely take a synthetic brush and make a line over your natural crease line, that's where you're going to get the best results. Now, same brush, just a white shade. I'm going to be putting it in the inner corner where I placed my concealer. The shade in the James Charles palette was just not pigmented enough, so I used this shade. Now I'm going to go in with the Miss Lowe's glitter palette. Glitter just in the middle of my eye to give my eye that pop. I love glitter, but I don't like it all over the lid. Now going back in with that bright orange shade, I'm gonna slightly blend the orange shade with the white concealer part, so my glitter has a nice transition from the white into the glitter, so it doesn't look poof orange. I'm gonna be mixing in these two shades and use it for my inner corner to give my eye that pop. As you can see, it gives the whole makeup life. Brow bone highlight with the shade Flashback with a shader brush. Always highlight your brow bone, guys. It completes the makeup. Eyeliner, I wanted to just have a wing. I did not want it to line my whole eye, so I'm going in just on the edges, drawing a wing. This part is kind of hard to explain, but I would make a separate video if you guys are interested. Setting my face with the RCMA powder. I slightly am baking. People get scared, but I love baking and I like putting it on, especially when I have cream contour. I feel like it just sets everything. The key is not to keep the bake for too long because it could end up creasing. For those of you who don't know what baking is and are not familiar with the technique, it's just placing a lot of product so it sets and then removing the excess. Tightening the waterline with the white eye pencil, prepping my lashes for mascara, brushing them with a brush. This is very important. It changes your whole mascara game. Now, warm brown shade for my lower lash line. I'm gonna be putting it just slightly below my waterline to complete this look. That was very important, doing your waterline. Now I'm gonna be going in with the Makeup Revolution contour. I did do a separate video on how I like doing my contour, and this was powder too, so you can check that out if you're interested. It's really good for beginners because I don't go in depth with the cream contour and it's really easy. Blush, I'm going to be using Sleigh Bells by Tarte, just slightly on the apples of my cheek. I ended up going with the warm brown shade for my lipstick because that just screams fall to me. It's just the ultimate spice color with this pumpkin fall look that I did. The Cookie highlighter by Benefit on my cheekbones and a little bit on my Cupid's bow and down the bridge of my nose. Placement is very important with highlight because it needs to be exactly where the light hits you. And guys, that was the final step to this look. My makeup look is completed. I hope you enjoyed this look. This was my fall orangey type of makeup look that I did, inspired by this whole season. I hope you guys like this video and I hope you guys recreate this tutorial. Please make sure to leave a like and comment. Tell me if you like it. See you next time. Bye.